जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा रस बिहारी राधे जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव मैया सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव मैया सुभद्रा जय गोपाल देवा जय गोपाल देवा जय गोपाल देवा जय पाल देवा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् भक्ति स्वरूप दामोदर स्वामी श्रीपाद गुरु महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री द्वारका धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गौरमंडल नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगामयी यमुनामयी की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेद भक्तवृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Guru Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashtaprayeshu abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Sukhamukadamruta Dhruva Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 4th chapter, verse 31 and 32. I'll read it slowly. You all can repeat on mute also, no problem. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Satya Sando Jitendriya. Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam. Eka Priya Shuhuruttama. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Satya Sando Jitendriya. Atmavat Sarva Bhutanam. Eka Priya Suhuruttama. Dasavat Sannataryangri. Dasavat Sannataryangri. Pitruvat Dinavat Salaha. Bhratarvat Sadrishe Snigdo. Gurusvishwara Bhavanaha. Vidyatarupa Janmadyo. Manastamba Vivarjitaha. Word to word meaning: Brahmanya, cultured as good Brahmana. Shila Sampanna, possessing all good qualities. Satya Sanda, determined to understand the absolute truth. Jita Indriyaha, fully controlling the senses and mind. Atmavat, like the super soul. Sarva Bhutanam, of all living entities. Eka Priya, the one beloved. Suhurtama, the best friend. Dasavat, like a menial servant. Sannata, always obedient. Arya Angrihi, at the lotus feet of great persons. Pitruvat, exactly like a father. Deenavatsalaha, kind to the poor. Bhraturvat, exactly like a brother. Sadrishe, to his equals. Snigdaha, very affectionate. Gurushu, unto the spiritual masters. Ishvara Bhavanaha, who considered exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vidya, education. Artha, riches. Rupa, beauty. Janma, aristocracy or nobility. Adyaha, endowed with. Mana, pride. Samba, impudence. Vivarjitaha, completely free from. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The qualities of Maharaj Prahlad, the son of Hiranyakashipu, are described herewith. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind. Like the super soul, he was kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and older god brothers to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was completely free from unnatural pride that might have arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. Purport. These are some of the qualifications of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana because a Vaishnava has all the good qualities of a Brahmana. Samo damas tapat saucham shantir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. So, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and righteousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmanas work. This is quoted from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 42. These qualities are manifest in the body of a Vaishnava. Therefore, a perfect Vaishnava is also a perfect Brahmana, as indicated here by the words Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. A Vaishnava is always determined to understand the absolute truth. And to understand the absolute truth, one needs to have full control over his senses and mind. Prahlad Maharaj possessed all these qualities. A Vaishnava is always a well-wisher to everyone. The 6 Goswamis, for example, are described in this way. Dhira Dhira, Dhira Adhira Janapriyav. They were popular with both the gentle and the ruffians. A Vaishnava must be equal to everyone, regardless of one's position. Atmavat. A Vaishnava should be like Paramatma. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Riddeshu Arjuna Tishtati. Paramatma does not hate anyone. Indeed, he is in the heart of a Brahmana, but is also even in the heart of a pig. As the moon never refuses to distribute its pleasing rays, even to the home of a Chandala, a Vaishnava never refuses to act for everyone's welfare. Therefore, a Vaishnava is always obedient to the spiritual master, Arya. The word Arya refers to one who is advanced in knowledge. One who is deficient in knowledge cannot be called Arya. At the present, however, the word Arya is used to refer to those who are godless. This is the unfortunate situation of Kali Yuga. The word Guru refers to the spiritual master who initiates his disciple into the advancement in the science of Krishna or Krishna consciousness, as stated by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Sri Bhagavan Mantroppadeshake Gurav iti artha. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarupa Damodar Swami Namine Namasadbhaktamanaye manipurudbhave cha Prabhupadala sadvani pracharanirtayate. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pachati Desatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. A warm welcome to all the assembled Vaishnavas to this ongoing session of Srimad Bhagavatam. And today's verse is a very, very important verse. Of course, this whole chapter is very important for all of us. But this today's verse is one of such important topics that Prabhupada discusses here, a wonderful purport about the devotional qualities or the good qualities of a Vaishnava. Yesterday, Maharaj very nicely explained how Prahlad Maharaj acquired this good qualities while he was in the womb of his mother. Hearing from the spiritual master, associating with the spiritual master through his instructions, how one acquires these good qualities. Now, Maharaj very wonderfully explained. And today, in this verse, those good qualities are all discussed a little bit in detail. And Prabhupada's purport gives a different perspective to how to approach or how to acquire these good qualities, transcendental qualities. Srila Sripad calls this as the spiritual dimensions. These qualities are called the qualities of Vaishnava. Srila Sripad calls it as the spiritual dimensions, and how one can develop these qualities. So, in the translation, Prabhupada, because I need not have to add anything to this because everything is so elaborately given here. So Prabhupada talks about the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. Okay, he was completely cultured as a qualified Brahmana, having very good character and being determined to understand the absolute truth. He had full control of his senses and mind. Like the super soul, he was very kind to every living entity and was the best friend of everyone. To respectable persons, he acted exactly like a menial servant. To the poor, he was like a father. To his equals, he was attached like a sympathetic brother. And he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and the old god brothers. Prabhupada, we all should a little bit contemplate on this. Prabhupada introduced this older god brothers, senior god brothers, to be as good as Supreme Personality of God. So we'll discuss this. He was completely free from unnatural pride that might have been arisen from his good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. Okay, we'll more discuss on the purport because purport takes care of the translation. The purport is given to our understanding. Sometimes if we directly read the sloka and translation and try to concoct ourselves our understanding, that is why we need Acharya's help here, their guidance to understand what exactly the verse is talking about. So, in the purport, it says these are some of the qualifications of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana. See, Prabhupada writes, these are some of the qualities of Vaishnava. These are not all the qualities. A Vaishnava possesses innumerable number of qualities. It's not the qualities means the transcendental qualities, the good qualities. Okay, the higher qualities, the higher dimensions. So he is the storehouse of innumerable number of good qualities. Vaishnava. Okay. So that is why Prabhupada says a Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana. One need not have to endeavor separately to become a Brahmana, then become a Vaishnava. You become a Vaishnava, automatically it comes as a byproduct. Okay, you automatically become a Brahmana because a Vaishnava has all the good qualities of Brahmana. So the Brahmanical qualities are the subset of the Vaishnava qualities. Now we have to see where from these qualities come, the Vaishnava qualities. We all have to contemplate from where we are getting these qualities. Prabhupada discusses that in the another shloka, Bhagavad Gita shloka. We'll talk about that. So a Vaishnava has all the qualities of a Brahmana. So what are the Brahmanical qualities? Samodamas tapas saucham shantir arjavam mevacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. In chapter 18, 42, these qualities of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra are discussed. 42, 43, 44, I think. 42 talks about Brahmanical qualities. 43 talks about the Kshatriya qualities. And 44 talks about not the qualities but the work. If you refer to this Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, verse 42 and 43, it will talk about the qualities of a Brahmana and Kshatriya. But when it comes to Vaishya and Sudra, the work is, what is their work, what they are supposed to be doing. Okay. So according to this, peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and righteousness. So these are the qualities by which Brahmanas work. So whatever work they are doing, they do it through these qualities. They are more supposed to be more associated with the mode of goodness. They should be working in the mode of goodness. And Kshatriya is supposed to be working in the mode of passion. Okay. And Vaishya is combination of passion and ignorance, and Sudra is supposed to be in the mode of ignorance. So these qualities are manifest in the body of a Vaishnava automatically. Therefore, a perfect Vaishnava is also a perfect Brahmana, as indicated here by the words Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. In this verse, in today's verse, it is mentioned as Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Full, in full. The Brahmanical qualities are there in full in Vaishnavas. Then, a Vaishnava is always determined to understand the absolute truth. The ultimate or the most important aspect of quality of Vaishnava is to understand the absolute truth. And to understand the absolute truth, one needs to have full control over his senses and mind. So that means the Vaishnava is supposed to be having full control over his mind and senses. So Prahlad Maharaj possessed all these qualities, Prabhupada says. Next, a Vaishnava is always a well-wisher to everyone. Here the word Surda is used. Okay. Surdam sarva bhutanam jnatva santim rakshati bhuktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloke maheshwaram Suridam sarva bhutanam. He is the benefactor and the well-wisher of Sarva Bhutanam, all the living entities. So, a Vaishnava is also a Surda. He is a well-wisher of all the living entities. He doesn't differentiate. Well-wisher means in the material sense is not a well-wisher in the material sense. Okay, somebody is poor, so you help them with some money, help them with some clothing, food, like that. If you take care of people, that is okay, but that is not the real welfare activity. The real welfare activity is to take care of the spiritual life of a living entity, particularly human form of life. So a Vaishnava is always a well-wisher to everyone. Prabhupada gives the example of the 6 Goswamis. For example, are described in this way: Krishna Kirtana Gananartana Paro Premamrutambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Dhira Adhira Jana Priyo. Whether he is a gentleman or he is a ruffian, they did not discriminate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu did not discriminate. Jagai Madai, when they came, when they threw the stone at Nityananda Mahaprabhu, and when he was bleeding, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to kill them, but Nityananda Prabhu stopped Mahaprabhu. This is not the purpose for which you have appeared. So you have to be compassionate. So there are 2 aspects here. When the devotee is hurt, the Lord cannot tolerate. He can tolerate people, talking bad about God, but he cannot tolerate, his devotees being hurt. So this story, Prahlad Maharaj story, is also that only. How the Lord will appear, when his devotee is disturbed. That is what the story is all about. Okay. Now, we were here. So, what I'm saying is here, if you see Nityananda Mahaprabhu, he didn't even see that these people have hurt him and they are so fallen, but he was compassionate. Okay. So, the 6 Goswamis coming from the parampara of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were also very, very compassionate towards everyone. No discrimination at all. No discrimination at all. Dhira Adhira Janapriyo. Gentle and the ruffians. A Vaishnava must be equal to everyone, regardless of one's position. Atmavat. A Vaishnava should be like Paramatma. What does Paramatma do? Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Riddeshu Arjuna Tishtati. He stays in the heart of everyone. In the heart of a Brahmana, and even in the heart of the pig, even in the heart of the worm in the stool. How compassionate. So Prabhupada compares a Vaishnava to Paramatma. He is equal to everyone. He doesn't discriminate or differentiate. Prabhupada gives another analogy. As the moon never refuses to distribute its pleasing rays, even to the home of a Chandala, A Vaishnava never refuses to act for everyone's welfare. When moonshine or the sunshine comes, it doesn't discriminate. Okay, I'll give light only to Brahmanas. I'll give light only to Americans. I'll give only light only to such and such group, or only to forest. No. The moonlight also. It distributes its pleasing rays to everyone. Prabhupada writes here, even to the home of Chandala. So similarly, a Vaishnava never refuses to act for everyone's welfare. Therefore, why Prabhupada writes therefore here? Therefore, a Vaishnava is always obedient to the spiritual master. Now, what is the connection between this? Suddenly, the tone changes. The Vaishnava never refuses to act for everyone's welfare. Spiritual master is a pure devotee of the Lord, the Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava. So he also distributes, he distributes this love, distributes this compassion to each and everyone. So a Vaishnava being obedient to the spiritual master, he acquires these qualities. By listening to the spiritual master, obedient. Srila Sripad used to say, Guru Maharaj used to say that we all should become 100% obedient. We should always say, yes sir, yes Mataji, yes Prabhuji. We should be always ready to serve. 100% obedience. He always expected 100% obedience. So, a Vaishnava is always obedient to the spiritual master. By being obedient, what happens? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. The tattvadarshini, the one who has seen the truth, he will impart that knowledge. Not only knowledge, the mercy also flows, along with the qualities also flows. By associating with the spiritual master, you acquire the qualities of the spiritual master. If you all have noticed minutely around you, people who have had a good association with Prabhupada, Srila Sripad, you will find at some point of time, suddenly some quality will be exhibited, which are just like, oh, wow, this is how Srila Sripad used to talk. This is how Srila Sripad used to sing. This is how Srila Sripad used to smile. And this is how Srila Sripad, Prabhupada used to be grave. The gravity, that laughter, that compassion. So all these qualities flows to the Vaishnava who associates with the spiritual master. So Prabhupada writes here, spiritual master means Arya. And what does Arya means? One who is advanced in knowledge. Okay? One who is advanced in knowledge. One who is deficient in knowledge cannot be called Arya. At the present, however, the word Arya is used to refer to those who are godless. This is unfortunate situation of Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, people who are not advanced in knowledge, the knowledge, what is the real knowledge? Everybody claims to have knowledge. We all claim to have knowledge, but what is the real knowledge? What is the transcendental knowledge? So somewhere Prabhupada writes, knowledge means to understand the difference between matter and spirit and the controller of both. To understand the difference between matter and spirit and the controller of both. So that is knowledge. the person, it is a simple statement, but that to realize that knowledge, to understand that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul itself is the biggest task for us. Then appreciating the role of controller, Krishna, and establishing the relationship with Krishna, and working in that relationship, and then becoming eligible to serve Krishna in different Nelos. Okay. And grow in that devotional ladder. What is the devotional ladder? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Paranam, Padasevanam, Marchanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So to reach that Atma Nivedanam stage, it's a long process. But this process gets shortened. Like if you have to travel from one universe to another universe, it takes billions and billions and billions of years, according to scientific calculation. But I understand that through the worm world, you can just be transported from one universe to another universe. So spiritual master is like a worm world, where you will be transported from this material universe to the spiritual world, material world to spiritual world, this universe to other universe. Okay. So he is a via media. Okay. But we should be ready to enter into fire. We should become fire. So to become fire means developing these wonderful qualities, these transcendental qualities. So how do we develop these qualities? By serving the spiritual master, by being obedient to the spiritual master. That's how we develop these qualities. How spiritual master got these qualities? From a spiritual master. How is Prabhupada got his qualities? From a spiritual master. How this parampara got these qualities? Because these qualities are there in Srimati Radharani. Understand this. So we should understand and appreciate the position we are in. How fortunate we are. How fortunate in the sense by getting connected to this parampara system, to this particular parampara. I don't know about the other paramparas because I do not know about that. But this particular parampara, Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, this Sampradaya, just by connecting yourself, attaching yourself to this parampara, that mercy, that qualities, all the qualities flow from Radharani to all of us in minute quantity. So Krishna has 64 qualities. The living entities have 50 qualities of Krishna, but in a very, very minute level, very minute quantity. Okay. So these qualities are already there. These qualities are already there in us. It is said in Bhagavad Gita, Mamayvamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manashastrani Indriyani Prakriti Stani Karshati. So Krishna says, you are all my part and parcel. Okay? By being part and parcel of Krishna, we acquire the qualities of Krishna. When we are part and parcel, we have the qualities. Okay? So it is said in this Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 5, Canto 5, chapter 18 and verse 12. Yashasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarver gunestatra samashata shuraha Harau abhaktasya kuto mahatguna manoratena sati davato bahi. Okay. So here Prabhupada writes, all the demigods and their exalted qualities such as religion, knowledge, and renunciation become manifest in the body of one who has developed unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we have developed this unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not directly but through parampara, this is very important. This is implicit actually. It is, the understanding is that we cannot bypass the parampara and go to Krishna directly. We have to follow the parampara. So, who's topmost in our parampara? Who's staying very close to Krishna in our parampara? Srimati Radharani. And where am I? I am Gopi Bhattur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Dasanudasa. You can put any number of dasa, infinite number of dasas. That is my position. So, the divine couple is here, and the closest first circle is the principal gopis. Then you have manjaris. Then you have servants and servants. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Seimora Sampada. Ratan Das Thakur sings. He's not singing about Krishna. He's talking about Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Rupa Manjari. He's talking about, he is singing about Rupa Manjari. You know. So, he says, the feet of Rupa Manjari are my real wealth. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Seimora Sampada Seimora Bhajana Pujana. Okay. So they are my object of bhajana and puja. So they are my treasure. They are the treasure of my heart, and they are my ornaments and the life of my life. Seimora Pranadana, Seimora Abarana, Seimora Jivanera Jivana. They are all giving us, showing us, you know, how, what mood we should have. Narottam Das Thakur is only talking about Rupa Manjari. Now, above that we have gopis. Above that we have principal gopis. Above that we have Radharani. So this quality comes through this parampara, through Radharani. So that is why our job is to please Radharani. And how to please Radharani? It is through your spiritual master, because they are all serving Srimati Radharani. Okay. So to develop these qualities, transcendental qualities, one is to serve the spiritual master. Then Prabhupada writes, the word guru refers to the spiritual master who initiates his disciple into advancement in the science of Krishna or Krishna consciousness, as stated by Srila Vaishnava Chakravarti Thakura, Sri Bhagavan Mantro Upadeshake Gurav Iti Artha. So, Guru means the spiritual master who initiates his disciple into advancement in the science of Krishna. So how one will get this advancement in the science of Krishna? By attaching oneself into the parampara through a spiritual master. They're so compassionate. The spiritual master has no other thinking, no other worry. They're all hankering. They're doing everything like ants. They're moving here and there, everywhere, collecting this, distributing this. You know, we all know the story of Prabhupada. At the age of 69, he went to USA in that tanker ship, in that cargo ship. With 40 rupees, then he sold his Srimad Bhagavatam copies to the captain of the ship, and he got some $30, whatever it is. With that he went. At that old age, for what? The 6 Goswamis, they gave up all their things, whatever, they were all in very good position. They went to Vrindavana under the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bring out all the pastime places of Radha and Krishna, so that the people like us get benefited. They are so merciful, they don't think about their bodily discomforts. I don't know about Prabhupada, I have not seen, but I have seen Sripad. He will move with 2 big suitcases. He never had any assistant, unlike other gurus who moves with an entourage. He used to move with huge suitcases, And if you look at this, how they were equal to everyone, to the scientists, to the spiritualists, to the religionists, to used to come to Mumbai, used to go to Indonesia, used to go to Burma, used to go to Australia, USA, Europe, everywhere. Why did they take all this pain? Because they want to initiate the hankering souls into this parampara, so that they can advance in the science of Krishna. So it's a greater responsibility in our shoulder, that all of us today here, at least we should take this thing, that whatever benefit I got, the institute is giving us the benefit, whatever, taking care of my spiritual progress. So what is that I can do? You don't give money. You don't give anything. But what you can do is, you become compassionate, like the members, other members, senior God brothers, senior members. You become compassionate like Srila Sripad. You become compassionate like Prabhupada. And what you have to do? Just bring one person into this parampara. Imagine 10 of us are here. Each one of us bring one person, at least once in 6 months. So in 1 year, you would have brought 2 people. And within that, they would have bought one person also. Imagine how, like a chain marketing they talk about, right? Multi-level marketing, chain marketing, whatever it is. So we can do this much. Whatever knowledge you are gaining, distribute this knowledge. Because people are waiting for this knowledge. They're hankering for this knowledge. Why not? Because we are all part and parcel of Krishna. Why not we anchor? It's only that material covering that we are having, because of which we are not able to understand this. So let us help these people to remove this material covering and understand their real constitutional position and connect them to this parampara. If we can do this, you will be doing a great service to this movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Okay. So if you look at, finally I'll conclude with this, time is up. If you look at Prahlad Maharaj, he did the same thing. He wanted to distribute this love of Godhead, the science of Krishna consciousness, the Krishna conscious culture to everyone from the age of 5. Because he was initiated into this science of Krishna by Narada Muni while he was in the womb. So this is another example where we can help those youngsters, your brothers, younger sisters, and those children who are having children. You can initiate them into this parampara. Then you become Surda, well-wisher, real well-wisher. We become the real well-wisher of our own kith and kins to start with at least. So, today's summary is that a Vaishnava means he has these wonderful qualities. All these wonderful qualities are discussed here. More will be discussed further. So, we can imbibe these qualities, try to imbibe these qualities. How? By hearing, by chanting, by associating, by visiting the holy places, by reading the scriptures. Okay. So I would conclude with this from Srila Sripad's own words. How to develop good qualities. Srila Sripad writes, in this way, all those wonderful qualities, in fact, there are 26 qualities of a devotee, will become manifest as we are trained in Krishna consciousness. The golden rule is always chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And when someone is in difficulty, it is our duty to sincerely pray to the Supreme Lord, my dear Lord, please kindly bless this person so that he can be inspired to render wonderful service, devotional service. Okay. Start with prayer. In this way, we learn the wonderful qualities of a Vaishnava and life becomes much easier and pleasant. Then you are not diverted by unwanted thoughts. Therefore, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is a way to train ourselves, and we should be able to apply this. Very important. We need to apply this in our day-to-day life, in our daily service and moment-to-moment activity. If you are in the kitchen, but you are not in a good mood, then you may put more salt. Or you may put sugar instead of salt. Then the taste may not come out successfully. So when one is in the proper frame of mind, free from any negative symptoms, then the mind becomes sober, dhira. Mind becomes sober and everything comes in its right place. When one becomes dhira or sober, one is in the state of devotional life, sober, calm and very peaceful, very clean, both inside and outside. In that state of mind, no thought will come that makes you angry, because anger is nothing but the symptom of ahankara, false ego. Such things will not come and will not be properly situated in such things will not come and one will be properly situated in devotional service. I'll read again. Such things will not come and one will be properly situated in devotional life. Therefore, we have to constantly pray for the blessings of the Lord and the blessings of the spiritual master so that we develop these qualities. See, Guru Sadhu Shastra, it said, no deviation, not even inch. What the Guru speaks, the Acharya speaks. What the Acharya speaks only, the scripture speaks. See, I just opened this thing. Guru Maharaj has spoken anything about this, and this is there. And what is discussed here is exactly same. Okay. So everyone is emphasizing on this point. So let us take a vow today that somehow, if not all the qualities, we develop one quality. Identify what you are good at, one of these qualities, and just exemplify on those qualities, and other qualities will follow automatically. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for this nice and wonderful class. Yeah, if anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Grace, Madhur Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So you said that like we should be calm and we should not get angry. But here in the purport it is said that the 6 Goswamis, for example, are described in this way: Dhira, Adhira, Janapriya. They were popular with both the gentle and the ruffians. So how to understand both these things?
No, what is mentioned there is the ruffians or the hardcore people. Even to them, they were compassionate. That is what it means there actually. Okay. Now to answer your question on the anger part of it, Sripad talks about that. Okay. See, being compassionate, being sober, doesn't mean always you keep appreciating, you know. Srila Sripad writes, we saw in today's shloka that the assembled sages were expressing great joy and happiness by glorifying the Supreme Lord. Similarly, we should also learn to glorify the Lord's devotees. This does not mean we should always appreciate. Because sometimes to find out some little mistake is also appreciation. See, as long as your cause of angry is not out of ahankara, your ahankara, it is to correct the person and bring him in line so that his devotion service is taken care. If you have that mood, chastisement is a blessing. Okay. Guru Maharaj writes this. Sometimes to find out little mistake is also appreciated. If somebody is pointing out a mistake, pointing out my mistake, I can take it in a positive way. Okay. So talking about your anger, if you get angry to correct a person, to bring him into this devotional life, or to ensure the progress of his devotional life, then that's okay. I can take it in a positive way for my own benefit, for my own advancement. I should also appreciate. So appreciation doesn't necessarily mean only saying all the time nice words. Srila Sripad writes, when somebody expresses his concern about my fault, it should also be acknowledged. That is also appreciation. I hope you got this answer, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. Our Nilambra Maharaji's hand was raised. Let us see what Maharaji have. Maharaji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
प्रणाम प्रभु जी, दंडवत
धन्यवाद प्रणाम, all goes to Guru Maharaj.
तो आप बोले गुरु आचार्य का फॉलो करे तो सब काम हो जाएगा। तो देखा जाता है कोई जगह में भगवान का नाम जप करना, कीर्तन करना, ये सब तकलीफ है, प्रतिबंधक है। और कोई जगह में देखा जाता है जॉब करना भी बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है, शास्त्र अध्ययन भी तकलीफ हो रहा है। तो परिस्थिति में वो लोग कैसे उद्धार होंगे? खाली गुरु महाराज का निर्देश फॉलो करने से हो जाएगा? गुरु का निर्देश कैसे होता है, कैसे होना चाहिए, और कैसे भगवान का पवित्र नाम जप कीर्तन न करके भी भगवत धाम को कैसे जा सकते हैं, इसके ऊपर आपका
बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछे आपने। एक्चुअली in the current situation where we heard some disturbance in Bangladesh, right, where people are troubled by other groups, you know, that's very sad. And coming back to Maharaj's question, where there is no opportunity or possibility of chanting or other process of devotion service. See, मैं एक this Russian devotee का उदाहरण दूंगा। प्रभुपाद जब रशिया गए थे, he preached to only 2 people, I think. That's my understanding. And at that time, Russia was totally atheistic. Okay. They did not encourage these things. So one person was put in jail he was beaten up so badly that he almost become crazy. And they think he left his body also. But somehow from there, that news is spread and gone, and maybe Shamsundar Prabhu may have some information on this. He can elaborate on this. Today, we have the maximum number of devotees in Russia. So if our intentions, if our desire is deep, if we have sincere hankering to have this, to get into this culture of Krishna consciousness, पूरा दुनिया बदल जाएगा. ये तो कहने का बात नहीं है, but देखने का बात है. No, we need to see this happening, and it has happened. There have been cases where people have bought Srimad Bhagavatam as a life member. They want to enjoy the benefits of this staying, accommodation, other things. People buy Bhagavatam and just some of them have dumped in the dustbin or raddi mein dal diya. Some of them are put on the top. But after 2 generations, a child comes up and he gets hold of this Srimad Bhagavatam. He becomes a wonderful devotee. So ye jo hai, one is our endeavor, other one is the mercy and the blessings of the Guru Parampara. Okay. If even one soul is hankering in a place very sincerely, then all the arrangements will be made, because ultimately Paramatma is sitting in each and every one of our heart. So सारा सुविधा हो जाएगा उसके लिए. Now coming back to whether only chanting and this thing only will happen, if there is no possibility of chanting, there are other processes. आप घर में बैठ के, somebody asked, if I am in a place where there is no devotee association, what will I do? मैं कीर्तन नहीं कर सकता हूँ, कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ, क्या कर सकता हूँ? पढ़ तो सकते हैं, किताब रख के पढ़ सकते हैं. So when we read the scriptures, we are associating with the devotees. We are associating with Prabhupada. So जो जगह में वो सुविधा नहीं है, you can just read. How many people have become devotees just by reading? उसके बाद they join the movement and whatever has happened. But they are initiated into the parampara through reading. Okay. Now coming to our Bhaktivedanta Institute. This institute is for those who cannot enter the temple, who do not want to enter the temple. So there is a different path. Okay. Like Maharaj discussed about the sloka in Radha Khund. Uttama sloke gunanu varnanam. Right? How to glorify the Lord using all the things, knowledge you have, whatever knowledge you have. Whether you are a doctor, whether you are an engineer, whether you are an architect, whether you are a scientist, whatever you are. So how you can engage this knowledge in the service of the Lord? So that is also given. So everything is available. We need to see what is possible practically that we should take up. And definitely it will take us, make us grow in the spiritual life. It need not be, yes, if everything is available, see, Patram Pushpam Palam Doyam, Yome Bhaktya Prajatati. Okay, Bhagavad Gita says like this, I'll offer only Patram, I'll offer only Pushpam. When I have crores and crores of rupees, I can offer Bandara, means, 56 items 3 times a day. But since Krishna said, no, when it's possible, do it. If it is not possible, limit yourselves to Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Similarly here also. Wherever it is possible, do all the 9 processes. Or whatever it is. Whatever process is possible. But when nothing is possible, what is the minimum that is possible? That you do it. See, it is not an artificial imposition on the mind, Prabhupada says. Right? It is a practical application. Guru Maharaj says it is applied spiritual technology. Right? So it is application, it's applicable. Only thing we have to use our intelligence and find out what is that I can do within the given situation without disturbing. Srila Sripad never accepted or entertained disturbing the environment. He was so uncomfortable when initially when we go to receive Guru Maharaj in airport, we go inside the sterile area only where this customs and all is there, and we'll do Sashtang Namaskar. Dandavat, Dandavat, right? And all the customs officer will be looking what's happening. But one day what happened was same thing I did, and one customer officer called me. What is this? What is happening? Who allowed you inside? By the time Guru Maharaj also came. Then I said, no, I came to receive Swamiji. Guru Maharaj, said that it's not required. Okay. So where we have to see time, place and circumstances, accordingly execute our devotional service. That is my submission.
Hare Krishna, Nilamar Maharaj ji.
महाराज आप कुछ ऐड कीजिए.
बहुत अच्छा व्याख्या किए हैं. मैं दूसरा सोचता हूँ कभी कभी कोई कहता है जब तक नाम जप नहीं करोगे तब तक उद्धार नहीं होगा. तो आप इसके ऊपर थोड़ा बताइए.
महाराज अगर ऐसा है तो फिर वो यस मतलब कलियुग में chanting the name of the Lord is ultimate. That is the process. ठीक है. But बाकी भी process दिए हैं उधर, है ना. तो वही मैं कह रहा था कि different processes are there. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Now, Kirtanam क्या है? Glorifying the Lord. How to glorify the Lord. That is also another process. So we have to find out वो कैसे glorify करेंगे भगवान को. ठीक है. श्रवणम
बहुत अच्छा
है ना. श्रवणम क्या है? वही मैं कह रहा था कि आप किताब पढ़ रहे हैं, मतलब स्क्रिप्चर्स पढ़ रहे हैं. When we are reading, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, so Sanjay is saying, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, we are hearing from Sanjay. Now when Bhagavan starts speaking, when Bhagavan Uvacha, we are hearing from Krishna, right? So hearing part is there. और जब भगवान के बारे में ग्लोरिफिकेशन होता है, when we are hearing that, then शरणम कीर्तनम वो भी हो गया. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है. See, this is what I said. एक बार, please take it in the right spirit. Once I think it's Brahmanand Prabhu. Later on he became Maharaj, I think. Prabhupada wanted him to go to Russia, I think. He said, okay, now you go to Russia. So he said, but he was very happy serving Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, no Prabhupada, I'll be here serving you. No, you go. No Prabhupada, I want to serve you. No, you go. Then he says, Prabhupada, if I go, I'll not get anything to eat there. So Prabhupada says, if you don't get anything to eat, eat meat, but go and preach. So इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि प्रभुपाद ने बोल दिया मीट खाओ, ऐसा नहीं है. So when we say chanting का जरूरत नहीं है, why we are saying is you have no facility to do that one. If you do not have the facility to do that one, you are in let us say in a bed in the hospital. Okay, you cannot open your mouth only. All the tubes are there in the nose and mouth, everywhere. How can you do that one? So क्या करना है? स्मरणम. Okay, Vishnu Smaranam. You can think of the Lord. all the time. Think of his pastimes. Manasa Puja, it's approved. I think we have a story also where the kheer is very hot and the devotee puts his hand and his hand really gets burnt. Mentally, in the dream he offers this hot kheer to the Lord, but he wants to check, and when he checks, it is hot, and his hand gets burnt. So there have been cases, but we need to believe this. कहने का मतलब ये है कि process तो दिया गया है. The process is chanting the holy name of the Lord. But if it is not possible practically, don't stop. See what is possible. Or as Maharaj says, Guru Maharaj says, pray, sincerely pray. मैं आपको सेवा करना चाहता हूँ, आपका नाम जप करना चाहता हूँ, लेकिन नहीं हो रहा है. Please help me. So some arrangements will be made. I cannot say that you follow like this will happen. No. It is between you and Krishna, between you and Paramatma, between you and the pure devotee, you and your spiritual master. If your spiritual master tells you to do this, do that. If he wants water, give him water. Don't give him kheer. Okay, bro. Maharaj.
हाँ प्रभु, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yeah, Prabhuji, maybe we can conclude for the day.
Okay. Tundra Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Srila Gurudev ki
Jai.
Jai Gaur Pramanande.
Hari Bol. His Grace Mother Krishna Prabhu ki Jai. Thank you all for joining. See you all in tomorrow's class. Hare Krishna.